Hey everyone, welcome back to Self-Care Haven. I'm excited to continue the video series called 50 Shades of Narcissism based on your questions about narcissism and your experiences with narcissistic abusers. Today's video is going to deal with the topic of narcissistic parents and spouses. So a wonderful, lovely reader sent in this question. Thank you for your insightful and articulate writings that bring aha moments for me. Having not read everything you've written, I'm curious about your take on the young children involved. The thought of no contact is not what seems best for the children involved. It's ideal for an adult, maybe, but having children who adore their adoration-seeking father, who genuinely loves them and needs to control them at the same time, is heartbreaking for a mother to see, stand up to, and be powerless to end. You cannot just take a father away from his children, nor do I believe it's best for them. The continuum of this disorder is important here when considering the no contact idea, especially with children involved. Your thoughts? Thank you. This is an excellent question, and I love the fact that you brought up this idea of a continuum. So yes, people who are not completely narcissistic, who don't meet the criteria for narcissistic personality disorder, they exist on a spectrum of narcissistic traits. However, if we're dealing with someone who is diagnosed with NPD or really matches most of the traits that I've described and outlined in my various blog entries, we have to remember that what's healthy, what we think is healthy for the children, is not necessarily what's healthy for them in the long run. So I am actually speaking from personal experience because I have a narcissistic father. So I am speaking from that perspective. So I hope you understand that this video is coming from that perspective. I honestly wish that I hadn't been raised by someone who was narcissistic. I wish that I hadn't witnessed the narcissistic abuse that went on, and I wish I hadn't experienced seeing someone that I cared for and loved so deeply be harassed and be abused by my parent, my other parent. That experience shaped my life, and it shaped my future relationships. It shaped my attachment to toxic partners. So what you're telling me here, saying that it doesn't seem best for the children involved to have no contact with their father. Now that's your personal decision. That's not something that I can advise you on. It's all about you and your experience with your partner. Maybe that partner is not as narcissistic, maybe that partner is not as abusive. I don't know the whole story here, but what I will tell you is that if you are in a relationship with someone who is abusive, emotionally abusive, or physically abusive, or both, and your children are witnessing that or experiencing that, and as they grow older, they're going to obviously have certain attachments to their father, and they might have very confusing, mixed feelings about the abuse. You have to remember that sometimes witnessing abuse is far worse than not having contact with that narcissistic parent. Now, I'm not saying cutting off all contact is healthy or that it's recommended, but I'm just saying that witnessing abuse is a traumatic event in itself. So even if the children are not themselves being abused, witnessing one parent being abused by another can leave such a traumatic impact on that child and can shape their future interactions with future partners and really shape their ideas about relationships, that I would seriously consider giving low contact a thought, at least. Low contact is all about maintaining only the necessary amount of contact that's needed, whether it's between you and your ex-spouse or whether it's between the spouse and the children. So without knowing too much about your story and without knowing where your particular ex-spouse falls in the spectrum, or your current spouse falls on the narcissistic spectrum, that's my experience and that's my take on this topic and my feedback. I look forward to hearing from you if you have any other feedback or any comments, or if you'd like to elaborate further on your story. I'd love to make another video about your question, because I enjoy learning from my readers, I enjoy interacting with them, I enjoy all of your comments, I enjoy all of your questions, and they really give me the fuel and the knowledge to really learn more about narcissism myself and to share whatever insight I might have on that I've gained from my journey to help your journey. So I hope to talk to you soon, and I hope this video helps a little bit. Hope it helps in your perspective. Hope that it lends you some sort of insight. Obviously, I'm speaking from my own personal experience, so it's really about you and your values and your boundaries and what you think is the appropriate action to take. But I hope it gives you food for thought. And thanks so much for your feedback and for reading my blog. And I really, really appreciate your question. So I hope to talk to you soon. I hope to talk to all of you soon. And if you have any questions about narcissism or your experience with a narcissistic partner, please be sure to leave a comment below. And until then, take care.